Hi folks, I'm Nick Stubbs, this is All Things Photography, and today we're talking about a case for your drone or quadcopter. Hi there. So, if you've got one of these, which is the DJI Phantom 2 quadcopter, you're probably going to need a case. If you haven't got one already, you're absolutely going to need a case for one of these. You don't want to be having this on the back seat of your car when you're traveling to a location. You don't want the props to be damaged or anything on transit. You really want to keep this as stable and as packed as well as possible before you get to any job, especially if you're flying commercially. You don't want this rattling about in the back of your car and maybe one of the props gets damaged, so when you end up flying it you're going to cause damage to other property. It's going to fall out of the sky, or you know, the best case scenario, you're not going to be able to complete the job. So you really want to look after the drone. Now, there are a lot of cases out there that come with the kits, so you can buy the drone, the Phantom 2 in kits, but what you generally tend to find is that the cases are pretty small and they need the props to be taken off before the drone can go into the case. So it's a bit of a pain. It means you have to get onto location, put the props on, you know, and it just takes a little bit more time, and sometimes it won't take the gimbal either. Now, I was sent a case by HPRC, and this is the 2700W, and this is a monster of a case. I'm a big fan of these hard cases. It just they look after your camera kit well. I've got a couple of rucksacks that are obviously a bit more, they're the actual cloth ones. They're great, but if you're looking after some serious equipment, then I would recommend one of these. I've got one of these, a similar case to this for my high-end video equipment, but the foam inside is completely shredded after about 5 years, so it needs completely redoing. What I liked about this case and what you're about to see is the quality of the foam inside and the quality of the case itself. Now, first things first, this is a huge case, but it does the job. So it's got 4 lockable areas here, and you've also got 2 areas here where you can actually put padlocks. So if you're traveling abroad and it's going through the luggage of an aeroplane, then you're going to want to lock it down. So you've got 2 areas there where you can actually put your the padlocks. Now you can see there it's a fair size case. I've had this for a couple of months now, but I've been waiting to actually get the DJI, so I've had the case before I got the actual quadcopter. Now this is a monster, like I said, but the best thing is, if you can see it here, you get the wheels on the bottom. So if you are walking on long distances, if you're going through airports, or if you're going on location with the quad, then obviously you're not going to want to carry this because it does weigh a bit, and that's empty as well. You've also got a pull-out handle here for carrying. So it's really, really handy. It makes light work of lugging this thing around. Very easy to use, just pull the clip up, drop it down, and then it's back to a case. And you've got a handle on the top if you want to carry it that way, and you've got a handle on the side there if you want to carry it that way. So I think it's a great case purely because it's so bulky and it's so solid. I'm pretty sure you could drop this off a building and it'd be absolutely fine. Now, inside the case, if we open it up again, you've got a huge space. Now, if you watch this, it actually locks, it kind of flicks as it opens. So we get to halfway and you feel a bit of pressure, and then push it a little bit further and it'll just open itself. So it's a great case. It means that this won't actually fall down. If your case is open outside when you're unpacking the quad and maybe there's some wind or someone knocks into it, this won't actually keep closing. It's got a bit of a security thing there, so it's excellent. Now, if you can see in here, this foam is very different to the foam I've used in other cases. I've usually had just this type of foam before, but this, you can see, it's absolutely cut out to the perfect dimensions of the DJI Phantom. So you can see here, this is solid foam. It's not one of those ones you have to cut out yourself. It's already done for you, so it's all ready to go, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. I found it much easier to actually connect everything and put the quad away, as you'll see in a minute. But what you also get with this case is a mini HPRC case. This is a very small, very rugged, very solid case where you can put your memory cards. So again, handy little feature, and it comes free with the case. So I really liked that, and that lives just there. Okay, so you've got lots and lots of pockets here. Let's bring this back up again. And you can see here, we've got all these different areas already cut out. Now, obviously the main one is for the quadcopter itself. And you can probably see in the bottom there's 2 grooves where the bottoms of the landing gear go, just to hold it in place. But you've also got an area here for the DJI controller. Now on here at the moment, I've got an attachment that allows me to put the screen on, the 7-inch screen for doing FPV, and I can keep that on there and still put it in the case. So I don't have to start messing about when I actually get on location. So if I just take this now, put that straight in with the aerial on as well. I need to take that label off, and that goes in there, no problem at all. You've also got space here for, I put the spare props in there, so always good to have spare props when you're out on location in case you break something. Again, especially for doing a commercial job, you don't want to be kind of stuck with 3 propellers and no work to do. Also spare batteries, you've got 3 battery compartments here, so each one of these batteries with this fully loaded will last for around 15 minutes. So if you think the job's going to last an hour, it's a good job to have 4 batteries, and you can take 1, 2, 3, 1 on the quad, that's 4, and you can get an hour's worth of flying in one case, you know, on one job. So it's pretty good. You've also got other sections here, so you've got the 3 spare batteries there. You've got an area here for a smartphone, so it's quite thin, but you've got the fat bit there so you can actually pull the phone out afterwards. But that will take things like an iPhone 6, iPhone 6, the larger one, the 6S or whatever it is. It will also take the Android phones, as long as they're thin enough, they'll go into there. You've got another section here where you can put tablets. I've got a 10-inch tablet and it won't fit in there, so you're looking at a 7-inch tablet or smaller, and they will go in there. You've got a section here, like I say, for the props, but you can also put the sunshade for the screen in there, so they go in there as well for me, which I think is pretty handy. And at the back here, we've got another section, which is where I keep the monitor. This is a 7-inch monitor. I can't remember who it's from now, but it's a 7-inch monitor, and that just fits in the back there, again, with the aerials on there. Okay, so that fits in quite nicely. And then you've got various other bits and pieces where you can put, we've got battery slots here. There's a pen slot there. You've got other small compartments here where you can put all your bits and pieces. I keep some basic tools in there, and other bits of equipment, other backup equipment. And then basically you've just got the quad, which just literally drops in like that with the blades on, which is absolutely brilliant. You can see it fits in there really snugly, and it's all flush, so you're not going to put too much pressure on when you actually close the lid. So you can see that fits in flush. But one thing I will say, when you're putting the quad in, make sure that the props are in the shape they are there, because if you put it down and try and force it while these are slightly out of alignment, you may be forcing the motors or risk breaking the prop. So just make sure you put it in gently and make sure these are all lined up when you put it in. But that's pretty much it. So everything fits in there super neatly. You've got up to an hour's flying time with 4 batteries. Like I said, it also, you can see there, I've got the gimbal on there, the H3 3D gimbal, and I've also got the GoPro 4, HD Hero 4 attached already. So again, when you put this in, just make sure to be careful, because when the bases go into the actual grooves, this hits the floor, so that's the floor of the actual case. So just be a bit gentle when you're putting it in, and make sure you do it nice and gently, and then that's it, you're ready to go. It's fantastic. I've had it on location a couple of times. It's nice to know you've got a solid case with a lid that's not going to close in the wind or by getting knocked. I think this is absolutely brilliant. I can't fault it. Like I say, it's better than the ones that you have, which are much smaller, where you can't have the props on, because you can basically take this out and within about 3 minutes you're ready to fly. So that's the HPRC 2700W case from HPRC, and I thoroughly recommend it if you've got a Phantom 2 quadcopter.